Even though I've been a VC for the past 5 years, I never raised money for my new venture, which is Selfmastered. By the end of this video, you're going to have an understanding of why did I take that decision? Why does it mean for our clients? And more importantly, why do I feel that if you have the chance for doing this, you should definitely do it? Let's get to it. Hello everyone, Leon Castillo here, CEO and founder of Selfmastered, which is a company that specializes in peak cognitive performance for entrepreneurs and business leaders. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because we release a few juicy videos every week to help people like you, smart entrepreneurs and professionals, scale and perform at elite level by harnessing the power of behavioral science, neuroscience, and complexity science. So, here's a personal video because I've been asked this quite a few times and I believe this may be useful for some. So I don't know how much you know about what I was doing before starting Selfmastered, but I've been in the real estate industry as a private equity director for a few years. And I've also been part of a small VC fund, seed stage fund called Civeta with some friends, right? We invest at a pre-seed level, meaning that there's probably an idea, there's a team behind the idea, maybe there's a business plan already, and hopefully there's some sort of revenue coming in. But at that point, what you bet on is on teams, on people. And I've been doing this for 5 years, 5.5 years at this point, and it basically takes a very small commitment of my time. But I enjoy it a lot because I learn from very smart people. I learn from not only my partners, but also the people that we invest in. So I've been asked quite a few times if I have access to funds, right? Because I'm a part-time VC. If I know people in the ecosystem, if I could raise money very easily, why haven't I done it? Why have I preferred to bootstrap this business that I believe is going to change the world? And the answer is very simple. In my experience, most, if not all, the startups that fail do so because of having too much money, not too little money. When you have too much money, you tend to avoid what I call the trade-off phase. The trade-off phase is at the beginning of any business, you need to optimize for the only thing that matters, which is product market fit. Make sure that what you're building is useful, because if it's not useful, nobody will pay for it. And when you are highly funded, it is a tendency or a start trying to make too many things or fall for shiny object syndrome. You deviate from the critical path that every business needs to follow, which is first, find a customer that can benefit from what you're selling, make sure that customer or that client gets the best results available, and then scale that very same solution with the same type of client. And over time, you can add more products, you can add more audiences and more customer personas. But there's a trade-off phase in the beginning that you need to understand that the only thing that matters is the product market fit. And unless you have that product market fit, and not only product market fit, but also channel market fit, so you know exactly how to sell it, yes or no, founder market fit, and founder product fit, because this is something not many people discuss, but it is very important to build a company and a product that you like, that you are inherently interested by. Because I've seen time and time again, entrepreneurs that were building companies on fields, industries, market realities that they did not care about. They do not care about the agriculture business, but they were building agri-tech business. And over time, they lost the drive they once had. Once the allure of being a well-funded entrepreneur washed away, they realized that they didn't like what they were doing, right? So I believe this channel market fit, product market fit, founder market fit, founder product fit, all those fits need to happen if you want to have an incredible business. And it's very easy to raise a lot of money to uncover for inefficiencies in these 4 fits that you need to acquire. So you can start hiring salespeople for selling a product you don't inherently like. You can open 1,000 social network accounts trying to make up for the fact that you still don't have a proven channel that's working in attracting sales, right? So that's something that happens quite often to companies that have raised funds. So I decided that because I had a business model that didn't need a huge amount of cash, I was going to go this slow route. This implies that we are going way slower than if we had raised money, but the more time we spend alive, which is 18 months at this point, the more likely it is that we're going to stay alive more time. That's a Lindy effect. And this implies making a lot of choices. So the first hire we did was a head of research to make sure that everything that I had been researching on my own for 5 years actually was backed by science. And he only found out one thing that didn't replicate in more than 500 things I say in the evolution program, right? And the mistake was of the source we found. So that went just right. But the point is, nobody really hires a head of research before having marketing sorted out and sales sorted out. And that's because I understand that product development is the number one defensible mode that we have. So, and then we started like building a sales team, the marketing team, and I'm happy to say that everybody that works or has worked at Selfmastered has been a high ticket line before. Like they fell in love with methodology, fell in love with the product, and they asked to work for us, which to me is amazing. But that can only happen if you have a client obsession. So you need to make sure every one of your clients gets the results they came to the program to have. And that's so crucial. Of course, we could be on 5 different social networks. We could be doing a lot of things that we're not doing. We could be advancing our business plan and our product development roadmap much faster if we had 1 million in the bank. But that's not the case. But it doesn't matter, because the more we're able to compete being bootstrapped, the easier it's going to be for us down the line to raise money on our own terms if we need it, and to make sure that we're very capital efficient. So, and of course, there's one more thing that just popped into my mind. I've always thought that all that time that founders spend trying to raise money, it is not spent building the product, which implies the product is not as good as it could be if the CEO could have been more time developing. So, and that's a trade-off that I'm not willing to make. The product needs to be perfect. And if that means that we take more time to finish it, doesn't matter, or more time to polish it, doesn't matter, as far as we can still provide the results our clients need, right? So there's no right or wrong here. We operate a business with high margins, so we can do this. Some people are building SaaS business. SaaS business is way harder to make it bootstrapped. I have a few friends who have pulled it off, and massive kudos to them. One of our clients, for instance, didnt from Hype Fury, he's an absolute stud, and he is growing Hype Fury, which is a scheduling tool that I highly recommend being bootstrapped. But that's not easy, right? You need to be extremely good at finding product market fit, which is exactly what didnt did with Hype Fury. So to sum it up, if you do not need funding to start because you're operating a high ticket business, well, I suggest you do not raise money, that you try to really nail product market fit, to sell before you build anything, so that you know that people want what you have to offer. And this is a trade-off phase that I was alluding before, that everything becomes a trade-off if you don't have the product market fit, channel market fit, founder product fit, founder market fit, because there's no need in having an incredible office, doing incredible outings, if you do not have the absolute certainty that you are building something people want to use. Hopefully this was useful. This doesn't mean that entrepreneurs that raise money are worse entrepreneurs. Of course not. Some businesses, some type of businesses just require a lot of capital upfront. Deep tech, for instance, need a ton of capital upfront. It just means that if you have the choice, well, then think about it. Do you want to grow very fast, but probably make mistakes you wouldn't do if you were bootstrapped, and then you grow slower, but you make sure that you're nailing every step of the way? That's a decision you need to make. I made this decision for Selfmastered, and it's working just awesomely. So hopefully this was useful. Let me know in the comments if it was. Let me know in the comments what do you want me to cover. Hit like, subscribe, tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your girlfriend's friend to subscribe. Do everything you need to do so that we keep growing the channel for people like you. And of course, if you want to become a client of us, if you want to accelerate your personal performance once and for all using our very own Self-Mastered Evolution program, please apply for a call with me. Let's audit your situation. Let's see where you're at. What's the problem? What's the issue? And if it makes sense, we'll be more than happy to welcome you in our community. Thank you very much.